Hi all, and welcome to my channel, Fred Makes Things, and my sewing setup tour. I did one of these videos like December 2024, but I've been using the room quite a bit since then. So I thought I'd give you like an updated tour of what is going on in the room. Sorry for the yellow cast. I put up a lovely decorative light above me that has like a warm amber tone, and it kind of casts a yellow light down in my little tiny dormer. To give you an idea, if you haven't seen that video, this is the entirety of my sewing space. And then here also, if you hear the sounds of the fans and stuff, it is hot, so you're gonna just hear it. That's my recycling relic, I guess, because that joined big, you're never going to see that again. But anyway, so I thought I'd give you like an updated view of my sewing space. We're going to start at the very end and work our way out. So I never realized how much stuff sewers accumulate, but we accumulate a lot. So we've got this main section over here, and it has like a few different storage things. So down here, these are two, I think they're like scrapping kind of scrapbook kind of drawer holder things. They look like they're drawers, but they're stackable boxes here. And in those they have layer cake pieces, some scrap pieces, and a jelly roll pieces. So because those are like fabric collections, color collections, I like to keep them together. Sitting above it, I have the cutout stuff for my for my kittens and quilts, kittens and cups quilt. So that's what this is here. This is all the background piecing, and then in here are like my scrap pieces for it. These are like the cups scraps, and these are the kittens and backing scraps. And then inside here we have all of the cutout pieces for the kittens and the cups, so that as I'm working I can just like grab a couple of random pieces from there and then work with all of this. I usually have it set up at my ironing or on my cutting station, and then I just pull from it as I'm working. We have some empty baskets from a Sew What project that I use for organizing organizing projects and things like that. And then I keep this thing here over here as well. And this is like the most current project that I just had to set aside, right? It's a table runner. So that's going to live in there so that I remember where it is. And then that little rose gold box you saw, that's just an empty container my mother-in-law got me for Christmas that I haven't figured out what to put in yet. And then we've got our upright kind of storage. We've got quilting magazines. We've got a pattern for an iron cover that I'm going to make at some point. We've got like a little drawer situation that has extra sewing needles, rotary blades, used rotary blades, and used needles in there for the most part. These two these two like book looking things are my Sewers Club project patterns. So all the patterns are right there. Any extra kind of like template pieces and stuff like that for other things that I've been working on are in here. This is organized 2004 to 2025. This other one here is 2021 to 2024. So this has 3 years of projects in it. It says a year and a half. And then these two things are traveling sewing pouches. This one here is the very first Sewers Club project I ever made. I was very, very new to sewing, but I really liked it, so I worked with it. And then this was the first project revisit I did. making this something a little bit more usable for me. And then I altered these patterns to come up with this pattern. I didn't greet everybody or anything. I just launched into this video. Sorry about that, guys, gals, dudes, whoever. Anyway, then we've got this. This is the newest addition to my sewing room. I had this part here, the top part, for a while, but I just recently got this bottom part. And in this we have like patterns and things that I work with or want to work with all of the time up here. My cat coaster template, things like that, they're up here. I need to clean that out. Then on here we just have random things. Like in this drawer we've got some glue, pins, probably pins, safety pins, the charging cable for my Remarkable. In here we've got pieces for like bag making and stuff like that, like keychain pieces, O-ring pieces. Oh shoot, these kinds of things. Have to clean that up. And then this is for ironing, putting like batting and fusible fleece and stuff, joining their pieces. Scissors, snaps, and then this here is where I keep notes and stuff, and then it's also where I have my color swatches cut out for the murder mystery quilt that I'm working on. Spare bits, hand sewing needles, a frog measuring tape, and a new seam ripper, jewelry wire or something. And then on the bottom we've got this that I never use. Glue that I used a lot for foundation paper piecing, spray based, and spray check. Sorry, the shadows. And then ironing, like iron cleaner. And then I keep coasters and stuff up here. These are the first cat coasters I made. And then I made a bound cat coaster. Then I made some mug rugs out of some scrap. They all just kind of live up here. I'll show you what's behind in a minute. And then I usually have this spot open, and it usually holds my Sewers Club project box as I'm working on it. Sometimes my Remarkable lives there. Often I keep it open for Berlioz to come back and forth to the window if he wants to. And then those two pink containers down there are zippers and ribbons. Then we have this big bird bag that holds the fabric that I've just finished with, or fabric that I'm going to use. Things that I want to get close to but don't really want to have in my way. And then the bottom there is murder mystery quilt. Nope, sorry, bottom there is temperature quilt. So that's there. Then we have my main cutting area, my favored footstool, because I'm short. Footstool. Then I've got rulers here in what's a card holder. They hold all of my main quilting sized rulers and my Creative Grids cutting mat. And then tucked in here in the back, I'll show you a photo of it right here, is another holder for rulers that holds my large rulers, my rotating cutting mat, and a larger cutting mat that I almost never use. Onto this section, this is where I keep all of my like actual sewing tools that I use on the daily. How am I going to get myself out of frame or my shadow? An IKEA light that I use to illuminate the cutting board when I need to actually see things properly. Oh, I don't have the thing turned on, but anyway, that's that. Then I've got this pile of stuff here. And it's on a Lazy Susan, and I don't know if I like it or not, but I've got a little tabletop vacuum, a little garbage section that is for actual like offcuts that can't be used. This goes into its own tote later for stuffing. This is for scraps that are big enough to work with, like crumbs and stuff, or working stuff that I need to go back for. Then we've got my anyway, we've got my scissors, cutting implements, this to burn zipper edges and stuff, and then all of the sewing stuff that I reach for on the regular basis. And then it can rotate, but that's new and I don't know if I like it. And then what lives next to it are my quilting clips. Then we've got my sewing machine. I'm gonna jump back out. Sewing machine, that's my ironing station. We'll get to that in a second. And then we've got the shelves. I'm going to stand back and try to point them all out. So I've got a dowel that runs through shelf brackets that has all of my working projects on it. So I've got kittens and cups, a table runner that I didn't get finished in time, temperature quilt, and then that's like the mystery color value quilt that I did that I still need to quilt. All there, all within easy reach. A couple of baskets that hold other fabric pieces, fabric scraps that I'm working on. And then we've got the shelves that hold things like interfacing, mesh, a candle, extra thread. That thread rotates out all of the time, so there's no fear of it getting dusty or anything like that. It's constantly in rotation. The cat clock that we got from Cat Lady a couple of months ago, a spool holder. I don't have any large spools for that to sit on, but I do use it when I use some of the larger cones from Aurifil or something. Who are they? Glide? They're Glide thread. So whoever makes Glide, or is Glide the company? I don't remember. A little resin door thing that I made, another cat thing from Cat Lady. There's some gaps on the other shelf, and that is where all of that stuff sits. The lid for my quilting thing. This here is like little sewing things that you need, little tools and whatnot that you need to reach for. This is fabric from projects that I'm currently working on. These are up here because of the colors in that. This is used needle, like used sewing machine needles. This is kind of just random stuff. That's a cat toy that Brillios hasn't gotten yet. This empty cat treat container is where I dump my foundation paper piecing pieces. Like I sit on the couch and rip all of that stuff out. Cat treats, because you can't not have cat treats. And then a container that holds some bits and bobs from the Tula Pink collection that I pre-ordered last year and some other things. And then a little basket that's shaming me for not finishing my half square triangles that were scrap from the block of the month from last year. So that's basically the setup. I have a mess of stuff down in here. This drawer is a nightmare. I'm not even going to open it. Down in here we've got, it looks like a nightmare, but it's thread storage, snaps, zipper feet, more like bag making supplies. And then all these Sewers Club boxes are labeled with scraps for like batting, insole fleece, fusible fleece, things like that. It's a mess, but I know where everything is when I reach down in there, so I think it works. Sewing machine. I need to clean it. Then this is my ironing station with my little iron. The trivet that I finished that I messed up on. You guys already saw that I messed up on it, but there it is. My clapper. And then this is where I reach for all of my little tools for my sewing machine. So I've got a couple of I'm going to jump again. A couple of sewing machine feet, the tool for my sewing machine, a measuring tape. Ooh, it's dusty again in there. Thread cutter, this seam gauge, seam rippers, scissors, glass head pins, needles. That's something I keep meaning to move out of here. This is where I have extra thread if I'm working on a bunch of projects. Down and below are like, that's a needle pillow to hold your needles. This is for your sewing machine foot to keep it from moving. Some sewing machine oil, and then some random bits and bobs are in there. And then Berlioz's kit knit box. And then finally, over in here, we've got all of my fabric storage. Please ignore the mess on the floor, that's Berlioz, but, and I need to vacuum, but this, oh, I'm gonna sit. This here is all of my fabric storage. The very bottom here is my murder mystery quilt, Halloween fabric, scrap fabrics, extra batting and stuff, like scrap, but larger scrap, but not full pieces, if that makes sense. That's all the metallic stuff from the kittens and quilts and all the other things I've been making. This is where I throw all of my refuse fabric that is not big enough for anything, the actual like garbage, because I use that for stuffing, and we'll talk about that probably in a video sometime in the fall. And then in behind, this bottom one is yardage. That's over half a yard for the most part. Mostly it's 1 yard or above. There's some pieces in there as well, but it's almost full of yardage that's above. And then there's 4 totes that look like that of fat quarters. 3 totes of fat quarters and 1 tote of some half yard things, some fat quarters, and some random kinds of pieces. And then all of that gets slid behind this white door when I pack this all up to go, so that when we have like guests over to stay here, or when I'm away for a long period of time and we have like cat sitters coming in or anything like that, this whole setup here, this whole setup folds up and gets tucked away. Like the cutting mat, the pressing mat, they go kind of on the side here. This gets rolled over and everything gets put away. All of that stuff goes up back into the shelves, and then it's all finished. So that is my current sewing setup. In some upcoming videos, I'm going to talk more about what I like in here, what I don't like in here, the things I use all the times, the things I don't really touch. So you're going to get top 5 notions, bottom 5 notions, favorite organization things, something like that. And a few other videos, I think. And so this is it, put away. The cabinet is put up. You can get into that door. Everything is put up on the shelf. We've got some cat stuff on the counter. And then everything else is good to go. So yeah, now we are ready to be closed up for the next 3 weeks to give Berlioz all of this extra space to play. Okay, I completely lost my train of thought as I was trying to close out this video, so I'm going to try to start that over again. So I don't know when this video is going live. I'm not sure if you've already seen some of the stuff that I'm talking about or not. So check my community posts page, and I will have like a list of like things to see, or like a list of what video is going up when, so you have a better idea of what is coming up. But I am going to say in this video, I don't know if I've said it before yet or not, but July 21st is my birthday. I will be turning 42 on July 21st. And I will still be in Edmonton. It'll be the first time that I've been in Edmonton on my birthday since 2012. So it's been a while. Okay, well, you don't need to see that. But yeah, so what I'm going to do for my birthday is I'm going to do answering your questions kind of a video. So if you have questions about me, my cats, my like sewing, anything like that, feel free to drop those questions down in the comments section of this video, or any video that I mention that video in. Or I'm going to have a post on the community tab here too, for where you can directly put your questions, or you can email me at fredmakesthings@gmail.com, and I will answer your questions. I will compile your questions and answer them. I'll answer as many as I can, but I don't know if you've noticed, but I am a fairly private person. I protect a lot of my real full name and my address and all of that stuff quite heavily on the internet. And it's not just like on this YouTube channel. In general, I'm very private. So if I think the question is too close to comfort, I won't answer it. But you know, I'm also pretty open about a lot of things. So feel free to send in your questions, and I will answer them for you in a answering your questions video. That video, I'm also going to do a community update video. So if you have anything that you want to share, crochet projects that you've been working on, sewing, quilting, cross stitch, painting, whatever, feel free to send me photos for updates from the community. So I think that would be kind of cool to answer your questions and do updates from the community. And if you've already sent me quite a few photos, but you want to share more photos, I'm always happy to pull from what I already have and other things too. And if you just want to share with me and not share with the community in general, you can do that too. You can email me at fredmakesthings@gmail.com. The other thing I want to say is that I think, I haven't tried it out yet, I might by the time that this video goes live too, but there's a new community option in the community tab where I think subscribers and whatnot can post their own stuff to the community tab. So go check that out too. You can drop your photos, your questions, or anything like that in the community tab in that way too. I'm not sure how it works. I have not tested it out yet, but that's an option as well. So I think that's all I wanted to say. If you're not already subscribed, do think about subscribing. You just listened to me rattle on for more than 20 minutes, so you might be curious about things I have to say. Like the video if you've reached the end. I don't know if I introduced this guy. This is Berlioz. Like the video if you like black cats. And I am going to go. So with all of that being said, I'm going to say thank you so much for watching, and I will talk with you again soon. Bye!